Everybody's got the skills statement up there. Do you see
Yeah,
that?
we can see.
Okay.
Yes,
great.
Tom, it's up there.
All right, we're getting ready to wrap up today. Before we do, and I will go into the specific details on veterans, how you can use the online program to access the course and be able to watch the videos and take the exercises and create your plan for success. I'll give you all that. But before we do, let's recap. I again hopped around from room to room and heard some wonderful discussions that you were having. Is there anybody who would like to share, a vet like to share the answer to that question? You know, what duties did you have? You talked about it in your small group, but again, for the purposes of the full group, share what your duties were and what you got good at, because again, that is the translation process. If you can identify what you got good at, carrying out your duties, you've got a skills statement that when you go into an interview and the interviewer says, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. What skills do you have? You can go right to that statement. Any vet who would like to share? Not a shy group before I pick on somebody?
I could share. Oh, okay.
Okay, who is that? Kristen? Yeah, Kristen, go ahead, share. I heard you talking about communication, if I'm not mistaken, right? In your group.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Why don't you tell the full group what you had some excellent points about communication and then delegating. So I'll back out. You talk.
Sure. So for the full group, my name is Christian. I'm a student vet here at Fordham, economics major, upcoming senior. And I was in Air Force for 6 years doing communications and intel. So the skill that I took away from my time in service was definitely effective communication, which obviously is good for being in that career field. So that skill definitely manifested with being able to talk to people at different levels, whether they were troops, the men and women I was in charge of, or the people that were above me. So that skill was definitely implemented a lot in my day-to-day life when it was taking tasks delegated down to me from my leaders, and then taking that and then sort of repackaging it and delegating tasks further down to my guys, and then working with my team at my level to then get those sort of goals accomplished. And then again, if say I had to communicate back to my leaders of resources and permissions and those kinds of things that we needed to get jobs done that they requested of us, being able to repackage those things and being able to effectively communicate to leaders that may not be as technically proficient at certain levels, but may have a certain level of knowledge that, you know, me and my guys didn't have, that we could then work together to be able to do. And aside from that, being a leader, being a, you know, young staff sergeant in charge of, you know, people that may be even older or younger than myself, being able to do that outside the workplace, whether someone came in late or someone was not looking so great at work, being able to communicate on a personal level, like maybe it's a discipline thing, but aside from that, maybe it was something going on in their day-to-day life. So, you know, just checking in with people on that personal level and building that rapport, I noticed was something important aside from just the whole uniform military thing, being able to get down to their level and find out what that is. And that definitely built up a lot of camaraderie and making a more effective team. And all that just packaged under communication, I realized was something really important.
You know,
So
Christian, let me just underscore, Christian. You know, how old were you when you did that? Again, you said you're young. How old were you?
So I joined when I was 19, and then I was promoted by the time I was 21. So you know, when I was 21 to 25.
Yeah, and what and by the way, when you write your skills statement, don't change a word of it, okay? Because to me, and I'll let others react to this. Love to hear from other mentors reacting to this. there were some incredible components to that I think can make you very marketable. It sounds to me, listening to you, that you've got great management capabilities here. And when I say that, I mean that you mentioned communication, which involves the value we talked about earlier around engagement. You have a lot of different personalities you're dealing with, I'm sure. You're a young guy, you're 19, 20, 21, 22, and you've got people that are possibly older than you that you're needing to interact with, and you've got a full range of personality types, and you have to be able to know how to say something in a way that the other person, no matter what their personality is, receives it from you. So the skill, as I'm hearing, and I'd love to hear, some of our other mentors affirm the value to your company of this. The skill is that you have the ability to deal with a wide range of people and get your point across. And the skill within that is this ability to engage people. And the other piece of it is that when you communicate, if I'm hearing you correctly, you've got to be accurate in what you communicate. So it's not just talking, it's the information you give has to be accurate. And when you go into an interview, please underscore that as well, because you're taking that information from somebody, passing it to others, and you've got to be able to do it in a way that reflects accurately the orders that were given to you, so they get passed along in a way that they get carried out in a way that is effective and efficient. Because if you're not accurate, you can only imagine how the train can go off the track. You know what I'm saying? Any mentors want to jump in? And again, Christian, I would urge you, don't change a word of it. Anybody want to back me up that Christian, you're on the right track when you go into an interview? You have, to my mind, fully translated what you're good at. Anybody want to back me up?
Hey, Tom, Jimmy here.
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy.
See you.
I'm here to affirm, your thoughts. I think now more than ever, communication is so critical. We have a generation of, is it Gen Z right now? Younger people completely born into these sort of online chat, virtual world, and it's a struggle, to even maintain social relationships, let alone actually operate in a corporate setting. I'm sure anybody here on this chat who's worked with that group of people, it's a challenge. You have to struggle with people that haven't had the time, like somebody like me didn't have the internet, didn't have chat rooms. If you wanted to go meet a date, you have to hope that she shows up, kind of thing. So communication is so critical. And I think it's critical, like you said, you're a younger guy when you joined, and you're certainly younger now, but it is something that is absolutely critical in whatever field of work you're doing. And if you can actually be human about it, like you said, that you can actually show a side that makes a customer or a boss even who might be compromised or feel vulnerable, if you can make them comfortable, it's a huge asset. I just definitely agree. Communication now more than ever is critical.
Thank you. Let me do this. I'm gonna go to the next slide here, which is group discussion. Let's pull it all together. What you got, vets, with these small group discussions today, these breakout sessions, is a taste of the kind of support that Edge4Vets is designed to give you. We give you in the online course a chance to go through, watch videos, and answer questions in 4 areas that will allow you to make statements in each of these 4 areas, and then hit submit, and out will come a really nice professional, a personal plan for success that articulates your strengths in your own words. Again, the online course is going to explain all of that before we break today. And we are getting ready to break soon, because we announced that this would go from 1 to 2:30. We're coming up fast on 2:30, but what we're going to do is, as we often do in the Edge4Vets workshop, is let folks who don't need to leave and you want to hang around, we're going to continue and leave this group discussion open for folks to continue to network back and forth. Before I give the specifics on the online course and how it works, though, is there any vet who, based on what you've seen today in this sampling of what we're trying to do for you, can you see value in a system like this where you get preparation, and this will be in an online mode this time, to translate your skills and then connect you. And I'll go into detail about how we're going to give you a period of time to work at your own speed to craft your plan for success, take the online course, and then we're going to come back May 15th and have a connection session where we're going to invite our mentors to come back and talk specifically about job openings they have, how you apply at their company. And by then, we'll be able to send them, those of you who've created your plan for success, your plan. So that connection session a month from now is going to have great value because you will have a chance to think through all these strengths that you have. And then you can work with the mentors to match how your skills and interests match up with opportunities at their company. But what I'd like to do is just, ask any vet to share how you think a system of prep and then connect like this can have value for you. And I don't know if Dawn is on, is Dawn on here today? Dawn Jolly, who was one of our vets who you saw her featured in the video. She was going to try and join us today. Was Dawn able to stay with us? Are you here, Dawn? Because I wanted, you'll meet Dawn at some point, but I wanted her to share how, specifically she did get value. But hypothetically, is there any vets who are attending this for the first time and just getting introduced to this? Just want to share how you think something like this system can have value for you. And then to hear from the mentors, how a vet who does this system invests their time to identify their strengths and articulate them in a plan like this can have an edge with your company because they've invested time to identify their strengths and they're coming with more clarity then to their interview. So I'd like to turn it over to the vets to share how you think this could be helpful to you, this system. And then if there's a mentor who would like to share how vets who do invest their time do gain an edge. So first the vet. Anybody want to field that?
Hey, Tom, I'd be happy to fill that. I think one of the biggest takeaways is that I appreciate, at least with this kind of program, is the fact that I'm actually talking to people that are in the corporate world already and actually given the opportunity to actually pick their brain and see what they're actually looking for and what their their expectations are. So I was a Marine in the infantry, and one of the biggest things when I was transitioning out of the service was everyone was like, oh, well, I guess you can go be a police officer, right? And that's 100% not what I want to do. And that was really like the only thing they said the infantry can do as far as translated skills. So this is definitely nice and insightful for me to be able to take the actual skills that I do have from the military and from other prior experience and, develop that into something that actually translates into a career that I want to do and not necessarily go be part of another gun club.
That's really well said. Thank you. Any mentor want to just underscore for Mateus and others how, investing their time like this can give them an edge when they go looking for a job with you?
Hey, Tom, this is Steve from Macquarie. I'll jump in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a advantage to this program is the vets have the opportunity to put their thought process together so that when they walk into the interview, they know what message they want to get across, regardless of what the interviewer asks. The vet's greatest values and skills, the interviewer may not ask you about them, but if you come in prepared and those are your strengths and you need to get that message across, you're better equipped to do that by doing this preparation before you walk into that room.
Boy, that's an excellent point because you're right. An interviewer may say, well, tell me about yourself. And if you've got your plan for success handy and you've thought through this process, you can say to the interviewer, well, can I tell you about the values and skills I developed in the military? There's no interviewer who's going to say no to that. And that, as you say, Steve, that opens the door. You just go into the values that you developed and how they're inculcated and you act from them today. That interviewer is going to lean forward on that. And then you follow that up with, well, these were my duties and this is what I got good at. Like Christian says, I had to communicate with people. I had to do it accurately. You've given them a sense of your skills without any jargon wrapped up, just giving it to them in civilian terms. So, you know, thank you for that. I think that was spot on. What I'm going to do is we're going to go back, and for anybody who wants to hang around, we're going to continue this group discussion. But let me show you, for anybody who does need to leave at 2:30, what's going to happen now. All vets will get an invitation who took this course who took this session today, to take the course online. You can't just go on the website and take the course, because it's costly to us for everybody we put on the course. So therefore you have to be invited. But by investing your time today in this session, we're now going to follow up. And that's why it's important that if you have not registered, that you let Matthias know, so that we can make sure you get that invitation. And then Matthias and Steve have recorded this session. What I encourage you to do is to share the link to this recording out with any vets who maybe were not able to participate with us today, and they can watch this Zoom session and then get invited to take the online course. So we'll start the process with the folks with us today, leave it open for others who this spring want to be part of it, and we'll expand that cohort, give you a chance to create your plan for success. You'll have until May 10th to complete the plan, because then what we're going to do, skip ahead to Zoom 3, we're going to have a connection session on May 15th. You know, you'll get an email on this, but I'm just giving you a heads up, and mentors as well. That's going to be the session, May 15th, 1 to 2:30, where you can bring your plan for success to that Zoom session. And we're going to set it up where the mentors are going to have a chance to share how you apply to them, give you the specifics on job openings that they have, where their hiring is going. And then you can have your plan and work with the mentors in this session on May 15th to make a match. So it's not a job fair, it becomes a job match where you've articulated your skills and your interests, and you can make matches to the openings that are available at our companies. And then we turn the ball over to you to be able to follow up on that. And like I say, that's why we find that up to 8 out of 10 vets who do this system do make a connection that sets them on a pathway. You know, and with the economy the way it is, and the upheavals and all, using this time now, vets, to get yourself prepared, so when the world gets back on its axis, you're at the head of the line to, you know, have that network that you can follow up and take your skills and interests and put yourself on a pathway. So that'll be May 15th. You'll have till May 10th to complete your plan and submit it to us. On April 24th, a week from today, same time, 1 to 2:30, we're going to have a peer support session. You do, vets, this will be for the vets. You do not have to come to it if you don't want, but for anybody, and I'm going to encourage you, by this weekend, you're going to get the invitation from us to take the online course, meaning that you'll be able to create an access, put in a password, and you'll have access to come and go to the online course. I'm going to invite you this weekend to dive in on it while the iron's hot and start the process of the online course. It's very intuitive, very easy. I'm going to show you in a moment how it works. But for anybody who has questions or wants to share tips back and forth on how it's going, we're going to have a peer support session next Friday. Again, you'll get all of this. Final note: any vets who have not yet, registered, make sure you send that to either me or to Matthias, letting us know so that we can make sure we get you registered so you get your invitation. And saying that, before I go back to our networking session and leave it open for those that want to hang around, let me go back to this earlier point about get started. I'm going to show you, this is only 2 minutes. This is a video we put together that shows you how the online program works. So when I say you're going to get an invitation to the online program, vets, you're going to get an invitation, and this is how it works. So let me play this for you. Then we'll go to a wrap up.
Hi, I'm Andre. Like you, I'm interested in the Edge4Vets course, but I wasn't sure if it was the right fit for me. Let's take a short walkthrough so you can see how easy it is to do. For me, it started with the welcome email. There are two versions of the course, the short version if you've taken the Edge4Vets workshop, or the full path for a deeper dive. You'll scroll to the bottom for the login link. To register, I just have to add a password, my name, military branch, if I'm in school, and my phone number. The other stuff is just optional. Here are the two course options. I've been to the workshop, so I'll do the short version. These are the modules I need to complete. After you start the course, you just need to read through the instructions on each page, watch the videos, and then click the next module. On the welcome page, you can download your Plan for Success Word document. This is where you'll type your vision, values, skills, and action statements. It looks a little daunting, but the course takes you through it step by step. Also, you don't have to go through the whole course all at once. When you need to take a break, click exit and you can see which modules you've completed. At the end of the course, you'll be able to upload your completed Edge4Vets plan. To do this, click Upload Now, choose a file, then you browse to where your plan Word document is. Click Open, and then Submit. When it's done uploading, it'll look like this, and you can click Done. I think the best part of this course is that the Edge4Vets team takes the time to look at your plan to help you make it as good as it can be. I can tell I'm done with the course because each module has a green check mark. I'm still waiting for my plan to be reviewed, so that one is orange. You'll get an email when they're done reviewing your plan. Log back in, and it'll show you've completed the course. Click Achievements, and you can download and print your certificate. In my opinion, the Edge4Vets course is worth your time, and it'll give you the advantage that you need to find the job and career you deserve. Good luck.
Okay, so good luck. That's it's very simple and it's all highly intuitive, and you will get a chance starting this weekend when we send you the invitation to dive in. I encourage you to dive in and look forward to we'll send out an email. We'll send out an email to any of the mentors too if you'd like to join in next week on the peer support. And again, the whole purpose is to give you a comfort level with this online program and creating your plan for success. I think, Jimmy, you're spot on that somebody who does, or Steve, both of you mentioned that when you have a plan like this, it can give you an edge. And again, we're going to leave this open for another 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so. Anybody like to share any thoughts again around this idea of vets, how a system like this can help you, and mentors underscoring for the vets how an investment in their time, investment of their time in a making themselves job ready in this fashion can give them an edge to get to achieve the goal, which is to have somebody say yes to you for the job that you want, that can lead to the career you want, to give you the life that you want. Anybody want to, start it off? Or Matt, you want to, offer a closing statement, and then anybody wants to talk can?
Mentors for joining today. Really appreciate your comments and your support and your thoughts and your mentorship. It's really valuable. To the vets that are here, thank you. Tom, thank you. I think what we can do is, if we might be able to set up just breakout sessions. It'd be kind of, a group chat. If somebody's got a question, they want to connect with somebody real quick, we might be able to do that. Otherwise, we would just be here in the group, and it'd be kind of a group chat in that way. But we could do a breakout session. So if there's a vet wants to talk to somebody that's still here, send send Stephen a message, and I think he can set that up. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stephen.
Yeah, I should be able to do that.
Great. And while Steve sets that up, you can probably create a single breakout room, and anybody who wants to, stay after this short wrap up can go to that and continue the conversation. Any mentors want to? I'm just eager to underscore for our vets how this is a valuable investment in themselves. I'd love to hear. So, and again, I want to just thank all our mentors for giving your time today, and we'll keep you posted all the way along. I'll be working with you closely as we get ready for that May 15th, so we can showcase your company. But in the meantime, any mentors want to just underscore how this is a valuable use of the vet's time?
I'd like to.
Go ahead, Bob.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of got hired through this program. So I met Steve Giaconetti through this program. And essentially what I learned from this program, it is amazing practice. I didn't have to essentially get one yes. I had to get 9 yeses over the span of 2 months. So culling my language over a practice of sessions such as these is very beneficial to any veteran that would like to put the time in to come in within this program to learn how to translate how they can benefit any company they would like to join.
We're gonna have to get you into that music video then, Bobby. You're as a success story. So we'll have to stay tuned. We're gonna follow up with you.
Okay.
I'd like to add as far as the value of the program, it's, if you look at the mentors, certainly I've been doing this since 2012. Even today's chats, you probably have collectively hundreds of years of experience between these people. And to be able to tap into that, that's where I think the real value is. Somebody can look at your resume. I've looked at countless resumes from vets. I encourage, I'm not an expert, but I certainly encourage people, to send it over if you want somebody, third set of eyes. There's HR people in this group that can absolutely clean up the CV and the resume. But really, it's just the access to the resources. Tom has put together a collection of Standard Chartered, PayPal. These are huge companies, and it's going to be rare that you're going to have access to individuals that you can reach out to at these labyrinthian organizations. So I think it's hugely valuable. Just the success stories. Tom, you remember Kimberly? I've seen her when she started working at a brokerage house, down in Wall Street. And other success stories. It's quite impressive. Jesse, who's now at FTD, he was a guy, paratrooper, did 1,400 missions. It's amazing. It's a free resource that you really should tap into.
Just on that point, Jimmy, so much today is applying online. It's set up that way that if you can augment that with personal connections that you can gain through a system like this. And by the way, I just want to thank everybody, congratulate everybody. This is, an attempt to take what we achieved in person and replicate it online. And I'm very, very gratified to see the connection making between vets and mentors that we've been able to achieve today. We set up a couple of small group sessions, and I went from them, bounced around and heard a lot of great stuff. So Jimmy, to your point, I think that person-to-person support that vets can get from professionals out there in the workforce is possible even in a virtual setting like this.
Absolutely.
So Matt, you want to, again, I'm grateful to, to Fordham, my institute. For anybody who doesn't know, the Human Resiliency Institute that I run that offers Edge4Vets is in the Gabelli School of Business. With Donna Ravasoli, the dean. We work very closely with Fordham and Matt and his student veterans, and just grateful to you, Matt, and to your whole student group for your technical support, your leadership with recruitment. And again, I would encourage Matthias, when this thing is you know, a link, you've recorded it, when it's a link and archived and can be shared, you know, blast it out to the vets that weren't with us today. Let them, you know, take an hour and a half to watch this and sign up and have access to this. Any closing statements, Matt?
Yeah, no, just thanks again. Thank you, Tom, for putting this on, working with us to take, you know, what this is the new normal. And I think it just shows the resiliency and adaptability, you know, some of the things that are in great demand these days that veterans have in spades. We're going to continue to push forward and prepare ourselves and use the time that we've got in a way that we've never had before and make things happen. So again, thanks for all the mentors. I think we can wrap it up here, and you know, we've gone over a little bit. We appreciate everybody's time, and we look forward to getting everybody back after they've completed their plans and put them on that next path to the trajectory to get to the place where they want to be so they can have the lives that they want and the careers that they want. So thanks again.
And there's one final note for anybody who didn't write down the dates. Next Friday, we'll be back here. And then May 15th, we'll be back here.